here's my whole grain, whole wheat toast, and I do all kinds of different jellies, but this is an organic raspberry fruit spread, and of course I measure it. This is half a teaspoon, because I add everything into my fitness pal whenever I'm trying to make a big change to my body. And let's see, that's 1 tablespoon of jelly. This is 1.5. So I love eating good wholesome bread. I've done bodybuilding shows and got down to 3% body fat and used bread as my sole carb source. Lots of bread, all with every meal, bread. People are afraid of bread, but that's just what they say on the internet, but it's not true. You can get ripped with bread as long as you stay to your macros. But there you go. Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, today I wanted to talk about bread, okay, as far as dieting and losing body fat or gaining muscle, just getting in shape, but specifically like losing body fat. Is it okay to eat bread? Is bread just horrible? Does bread have a place in the diet? And because I hear it all the time, and most people just cut out bread. They just, bread gets a bad rap. And what I want to say is I love bread. And if there was a specific carb that I could eat every day, like on a diet, and I was just trying to be super good and want to get ripped, lose all my body fat, I could eat bread for every meal. I could make bread my sole carb source and I'd be super happy. I get sick of eating rice. I get sick of eating potatoes. I get sick of oatmeal. I mean, I eat those all the time. I don't get super sick of them, but I love bread, and I specifically love toasted bread. If you pop it in the toaster, I love bread. And so I'm here to say that there's nothing wrong with bread. Now, there is a difference, a huge difference on the type of bread that you get. But bread in itself is healthy and good for your body. And I have a couple of different, I'm going to go over some ingredients of different types of, like the wrong kind of bread and the good bread that you can buy. But I want to let you know, I've dieted down for bodybuilding shows 12 weeks where bread is my base of carbs. Bread at every meal, bread. And bread has a good macro breakdown of protein, carbs, and fats too. And bread, I mean, when you go get bread, like whole wheat bread, it's low fat. It's usually 1 gram of fat, average, 1 gram of fat per slice. So it's low fat, it's a good amount of carbs, 20 to 30 grams of carbs, depending on what kind of bread you get, and about 4 to 5 grams of protein. And so bread is great. And I don't know why everybody just talks so bad about bread. But I want to show you about the different kinds of bread to get though. It's not good to, almost 99% of the bread that's that you don't want to buy is on the shelf, okay? And the reason, it's sitting on the shelf and it lasts for a year or 6 months or however long is it has all the preservatives and chemicals and all these ingredients in them that are not good for your body. So you definitely don't want to get that. You want to go to the store, like my favorite grocery store is H-E-B, but H-E-B or Whole Foods, but they all have them, Kroger's. You go to the bakery and you get the fresh baked whole wheat bread, and you have to, when you come home, you have to put it in the refrigerator because it'll mold. Like within a week, you'll get mold on it because there's no preservatives. But it doesn't have all those chemicals, and you're not going to find this bread on the shelf. They bake this bread, they put it out, and people buy it, and the rest they throw it away. And that's the kind of bread you want to get. And so I want to just show you real quick, or tell you, let's go over the breads a little bit. I'm outside, by the way. If you hear the birds chirping, it feels so good out here. A lot of times I come out here and sit and work on my computer, and I love it. But anyway, look at this. Mrs. Bears. I just picked Miss Bears. Miss Bears whole wheat. So say I want to get healthy bread, and I go to the aisle, the bread that's sitting on the shelves, and I want to get Mrs. Bears 100% whole wheat bread. Let's read some of these ingredients in it. It has whole wheat flour. That sounds good. Water, sugar, yeast, wheat gluten, salt, soybean oil. Okay, all those sound okay. And then calcium propionate, which is a preservative. Datum, which is capitalized DATEM. I'm not sure what that is. Mono and diglycerides. Grain vinegar, calcium sulfate, soy lecithin, citric acid, sodium stearoyl lactylate. I don't know what that is. Some of these are so hard I can't even pronounce the words, but azodicarbonadamide, ethyl oxalated mono and diglycerides. So whenever there's stuff in there that you can't even pronounce, I mean, I don't like that, but I have no idea what it is. But there's a lot of chemicals in them. Now let's go to Whole Foods, and you go to the bakery section and get 100% whole wheat. I love whole wheat. I love whole wheat bread. So let's look at the whole wheat from Whole Foods. Whole wheat flour, water, wheat gluten, and for sweetener they have organic honey and organic brown sugar, less than 2% expeller pressed palm oil, yeast, and salt. And so there's way less ingredients, and every single thing I can pronounce. There's no chemicals in it, no preservatives in it, and it tastes delicious. And so this is healthy bread. And let's go over, let me show you the macros on this. Is each slice of bread has, the whole wheat bread is, first of all, it has 3 grams of dietary fiber. That's important. It has 5 grams of protein, 19 grams of carbs, and 1.5 grams of fat. And each slice is 100 calories. And so you want to get the bread that doesn't have the preservatives and the chemicals and all that stuff in there. And I'll go show you in my refrigerator, because I have both the baked bread that I like to eat, and I also have the one that's off the shelf. They're both whole wheat, and I just want to show you the difference in the way they look, the way they feel, and the way they taste. There's a big difference, and I prefer the healthier bread. Tastes better, it's heavier, it keeps you full longer. And so let's go take a look at the 2 different types. Okay guys, here's the bread, and one of them is the store on the shelf, that stays on the shelf and has a long shelf life. The other one is fresh baked, doesn't have any preservatives. Can you guys tell me which one is the one that you get on the shelf, on the right or the left? They're both whole wheat bread. And so let me show you. The one on the right is, they're both 100% whole wheat bread. The one on the right, of course, is the one that goes on the shelf. And just look at the consistency of it. This is the less healthy bread, but see how floppy it is? And it's like super, super light. If I throw this up in the air outside, the wind will blow it away. Here's the hearty bread. See how thick it is? I mean, that sucker is like thick and heavy. And this one's gonna be, when you eat it, this one's gonna keep you fuller longer. And it's just healthier, and you can almost just tell by looking at it. But this has to go in the refrigerator. And so, to heat it up, you can toast it or just let it sit out. But you can even tell by looking. But both of these have kind of the same macros. In fact, this one has more protein in it. It has 5 grams of protein compared to 3 grams of protein. But bread overall, just regular bread, like if you get wheat bread, is low in fat. So you can get lean, you can lose lots of body fat, you can, it's a great carb source. So I'm just saying, don't be afraid of bread. If you love bread, just get the good kind of bread. This one's more processed. But anyway, all I'm saying is, If you like bread, don't be afraid of bread. You can eat bread at every meal as long as you put it in with your macros. And try toasting it because I love toasted bread. Anyway, that's my little spill on bread. So don't be afraid of bread. It's not the devil. It's a good carb source.